Ladies and gentlemen, we are midway through the season with Forest Green Rovers, and today we could be going top of the league. Welcome to my Zero to Hero series, where we are playing through with Forest Green Rovers, and since you were last with me, we've still been in some pretty decent form with wins against Mansfield and Stockport in the league. We did lose to Crystal Palace under 21s in the EFL trophy, but do we care about the EFL trophy, really? Probably not, so it's all okay. And then we've just beaten Altrincham 2-1 in the FA Cup second round, meaning later on in the year, in January, we are going to be facing Reading in the third round. But that is a long way away. Right now, we need to focus on our next match, which is going to be against Swindon. I probably should explain this. I did mention I would do it in a previous episode. I don't really like Swindon very much. I had to spend some time there when I was training for a management position in a company I worked with before, and it's just not a very good place.
Whoa, where have I been? Well, for the last few minutes, sir, you've been dead. Wow.
How's it feel?
Have you been to Swindon?
And since then, I've liked nothing to do with Swindon. If you are a Swindon Football Club fan, then you're entitled to your completely wrong opinion. But it does remain a wrong opinion. And today, we are going out to face them. They are second in the league. We are, I believe, third? Fourth? We'll see that in a minute when we start this match. But a win today could put us at top of the league, pending other results as well. This is the lineup we're going to use to try and do it. It is McGee in goal, McDonald, Wiggett, Fagan, Walcott, and Harkins as our back four. We've then got Jones, Hackney and Vangelis in midfield. Kanate over on the left, McDonald on the right, and Iro up front. Everyone is nice and fully fit. We've had a week's rest to get ourselves ready for this tie. The team look ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to go and face Swindon Town, whose manager is Lee Bowyer. Interesting appointment, that one. Essentially, as I mentioned, though, this is even more important, apart from the fact that I don't like Swindon, based on the league table. And right now, the league table looks like this. We are in fourth with a game in hand on 37 points. Colchester in first, 2 points above us, but obviously having played a game more. Swindon are in second, so a win today kind of puts not Swindon out of the race. Obviously, there's quite a lot of football left to play, but it does mean momentarily, at least, we'll have an advantage on them, and it will be Colchester who we are chasing, potentially overtaking. I don't know if they are playing today. I'd be surprised if this is our game in hand. Colchester, are they playing today? Maybe they've already played. I'm not sure. I didn't see them on that list. I'll pause next time we see it, so we can have a look and see if Colchester are playing. It'll be useful to keep a little bit of an eye on their result. Kanate has managed to nick some possession off of the Swindon midfielder here, and back to McDonald. Kanate over on the left into Vangelis. Vangelis with a shot. It is pinged off against the crossbar. I think the goalkeeper did get a touch to it there, and Vangelis unable to quite finish to add to his tally for the season. He scored a hat-trick in a recent match. I can't remember when I played him up front. It was in one of the league matches we played him up front because Iro wasn't fully fit. Kanate wasn't fully fit, so Vangelis ended up going up front as a striker and bagged himself a hat-trick, proving that he can do it there if we need him to. McDonald regaining possession off of that throw-in, almost tackled again. He is tackled the second time, but still pressing, trying to force Swindon into mistake. That one falls to Vangelis. Kanate has a shot as well, and that time it is blocked and headed back to the Swindon goalkeeper. We do look in control at the moment. That obviously could change. We haven't scored yet. We do still a little bit struggle with goals. We have Iro can score them, Vangelis can score them, Kanate. All of those guys can do it, but they don't do it necessarily very consistently. Iro especially. His stats look really, really good if you see him in game at the moment. He scored a bag of goals this season. He might be about to score another. Iro through on goal. Iro chips the goalkeeper for his 20th goal of the season. As I was saying, he's scored quite a lot of goals this season. Annoyingly, they come in fits and bursts. He'll score a hat-trick and then not score for 3 games. And then he'll score a hat-trick and then he'll not score for 4 games. And then he'll score another 2. And that's kind of how it's been going all season. That one, though, was a really nice finish against the Swindon goalkeeper, who didn't really know a huge amount about it. We are fully in control here If we could go and grab a second one, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. But as it stands, that pushes us up into second place. Swindon down into fifth. And as I've mentioned already, we do still have that game in hand over Colchester, who are in first place at the moment. And I still haven't checked if they're actually playing or not. I'm going to leave the cursor up here, so it will remind me in a second to pause the game. Hackney with a free kick, has a shot, flies over, not on target, not testing the goalkeeper. I will see if Colchester are playing. We're ignoring Swindon now. The whole aim of this game now is seeing if Colchester are actually playing a match or not. We don't care about Swindon anymore. We don't like them. They don't have any fans. They're just not a very good team. McDonald into Iro. Iro now just giving away possession really, really cheaply in Swindon, looking for a counter-attack. Fagan Walcott is putting a stop to that one very, very quickly. And again, it's just pumped forward. Wiggett is there to pick up the loose ball, and very, very little threat there from the Swindon team. If they're going to play like that, then it'll be a nice afternoon for us. Iro managed to get ahead of the defender once again and does get his head to it, but not on target. If it was on target, it would have been in the back of the net. Colchester then, they are playing. They're currently winning 1-0 against Accrington. But even with that, as I mentioned, only 2 points ahead of us with our game in hand. So, you know, that game in hand could become very, very, very important when we do eventually play it, because it will be a get us into the top of the table match. It becomes I don't want to say a 6-pointer, but it becomes very, very important. Hawkins on the edge of the area tries to put a ball in the back of the net via an absolute screamer from the edge of the area, but instead it's again just a little bit of a wasted shot, really. Fagan Walcott is looking a little bit tired here. He's going to come off. Moore Taylor going to come on for him. Everyone else at the moment is looking all right. Vangelis, probably the least effective player on the pitch, though. So Kanate going to drop back into the Mazzala role. Matt J is going to come in over on this left-hand side. We're changing him to an inside forward as well, which is where we've played him recently, and he's looked relatively decent over there. It does allow us to play Kanate in midfield as well. Obviously, Kanate not always starting there, because we do prefer Vangelis in that role. Finley McDonald there, trying to play that one forward to Iro. Doesn't quite come off the way we wanted it to. Hackney now bringing the ball down, doing a little twirl on the spot, and now we're doing the same stupid thing Swindon were that I criticised a minute ago, and that is just playing balls forward with no real direction. Kanate gathers possession, but very, very momentarily before he's tackled by a Swindon player. Now Swindon looking for an attack of their own. Can we get rid of that? We haven't dealt with that at all. Luckily, McGee there to save it, and as it turns out, it is offside anyway. A corner for us now. Matt J going to be taking this one. He is decent at his set pieces. This one is into the near post, looking for someone. I'm not really sure who. Kanate. Iro is there. That is still showing up his 20th goal of the season, because it's offside. Unfortunate. That would have been really, really nice and probably killed off the tie there. But yeah, he is quite a bit offside, really, isn't he? Again, coming into the 72nd minute, all of the team look fairly fit. I think maybe we make these changes before they become unfit. Sean Robinson can come on for Hawkins on the right-hand side. We've also got Alex Kirk. We've got Kieran Wallace. We haven't got like a huge amount of depth on the bench today. James Jones for Callum Jones could be a potential substitution, but Callum Jones is on a 7.5 rating, so we're just going to wait and not rush these substitutions. Matt J into the box once again, looking for someone to get their head on the end of it. Instead of that, Swindon have dealt with it quite well, and now going on the counter-attack. No one is dealing with Bolton here. Could we please put in a tackle? That would be lovely. That one is dealt with by Callum Jones. Really well done. Kanate now trying to launch a counter-attack of our own, feeding Matt J over on the left. You probably should have just crossed that to Iro a little bit quicker than you did, instead of passing it back. And now Swindon on the counter-attack. I think this is the third counter-attack in this highlight. I'll count it while I'm editing it, but let me know. And there is the goal for Swindon. Right, guys. Have I mentioned I don't like Swindon? We're not going to lose to them. I'll tell you that much, lads. Look at these stats. Look at them. We should be winning this tie, really. No one dealt with Bolton. Just absolutely no one dealt with Bolton. And if you're not going to deal with him, then eventually that is going to happen. We could still go and get a goal here. I mean, we've been ahead for most of this tie. It'd be unfortunate to draw it. It wouldn't be the end of the world, apart from, again, I don't like Swindon. That could be the title of today's episode. I might actually name it there. Iro has managed to round the goalkeeper, but unfortunately, there is a defender standing in his way, so not managing to actually score another goal. Very annoying, very pesky defender there. Why is he there? Get out the way. That ball into Wicket there. It's been passed out to Kanate, into Iro. Iro has bundled it into the back of the net for his 21st goal, his second of the tie, and his second one that's been disallowed this afternoon. I have more questions about that one than the previous one. I mean, it says that he's offside, according to these lines, but you tell me where everyone's body parts was in that massive jumble of players, because I couldn't tell you, Mr. Referee. Do we have VAR at this level? I don't think we do. McDonald coming off. Kieran Wallace can come on for him. We can make one other substitution. I mean, no one needs to come off here, but Charlie Wiggett is on a yellow card, so he can come off. Alex Kirk can come on, so we can still put in those tackles when we need to in defence. Play for set pieces, says Mr. Assistant Manager Laurie Walker. I mean, we'll go with that, Laurie. I'll listen to your advice, but equally, we don't really score a lot of them, do we? Is anyone else finding that in FM23? Are the set pieces for you actually working that well? Are you scoring a lot of them? Bolton's through on goal. Bolton's through on goal. It's fine. It's fine. McGee had it covered. I wasn't worried. That was not the face of a worried person you saw there. I was completely confident that McGee had that covered. That's the face of a man that's completely lying, but luckily for us, it went sailing over. Swindon are still attacking here. Robertson has taken a touch. I thought it was a touch too many, but instead he's managed to free up Iro, passing it over to Finney McDonald's, and that is the Swindon way. He's brought him down. A cynical tackle there when we were on the counter-attack. They know we're not as good at set pieces, so they've just brought us down so we can't score an open play. And Matt J, mate, I don't think you need to take this long over it. It's flown into Kirk. It's nodded away by a Swindon defender. And it is a 1-1 draw then against Swindon. I am very, very disappointed with that. Again, it does mean we are only 1 point behind top, though, with a game in hand. So all is not lost. We might be 4th right now. I'm not sure when our next game is. Is it a midweek game? It's on a Tuesday. So Woking, 3 days from now, I'm imagining, is our game in hand. Win that one, and we go top of the league by the end of the episode. What a lovely treat that would be. Not sure how to deal with this one. We're not on the match yet. I've literally hit continue, dealt with something, and come back. But Jack Marriott, we've made 2 promises to him. He would like us to sell him within the next 53 days, and he would like us to not sell him within the next 140 days. I think we're going to struggle to fulfill both of those promises. What's funny about that Jack Marriott situation as well is I was genuinely doing it as a little bit of a bit because I hadn't hit continue yet. But we're now 3 days later and the man still wants us to sell him and not sell him. So clearly Jack Marriott doesn't have a clue what he wants out of life. We are going to go and face Woking now, though, who are 18th in the league. This should be our game in hand. We can go top here. Our lineup for today, quite heavily rotated. McGee in goal, MacDonald, Kirk, Wiggett and O'Keefe as our back four. Jones, Moore, Taylor and Matt J in midfield. This is James Jones, by the way, not Callum Jones. I know they've got the same name and they're playing in the same position, but it turns out they are actually different people. We've then got Liam Burt over on the left, Robertson over on the right, and Vangelis is starting up front. Hopefully, he can go and grab himself another hat-trick. He did it once as a striker. If he could do that again against Woking, I think we would all go home very, very happy after this match. We're just going to pump everyone up as much as we can before this match. It's super important, guys. We don't necessarily need to see any of this. As I mentioned, Colchester somehow are playing as well. So this isn't our game in hand at all. I assumed, given it was on a Tuesday, that it would be our game in hand. It's not. So we can't go top unless Colchester lose, in which case we can. O'Keefe has just been brought down in the box on the 40th minute. 40th. 14th minute, and now we are going to get a penalty out of it. I don't know who takes them when Jones isn't on the field. Apparently, it's Matt J. Matt J has taken that one. Goalkeeper does go the right way, but it's got so much power on it that it does go into the bottom right of the goal anyway, and we are 1-0 up against Woking. That will do very, very nicely for a first 15 minutes in a tie. We are massive fans of that. Matt J's already taken the penalty, Football Manager. We don't need him to take it again. Colchester at the moment, still drawing 0-0 with Port Vale. So potentially we could end up in a situation here where we go top of the league and have a game in hand, which would be, I think we can all agree here, absolute best case scenario for us. Liam Burt swings that one into the box looking for Robertson, doesn't manage to find him, and now Woking gonna try and launch a counter-attack. They are going to try and launch a counter-attack. I thought they were just going to hold it at the back. More Taylor though, having absolutely none of that. Regains possession, loses it before I can finish a sentence, regains it before I can finish that sentence, loses it again, regains it again. Just get it away from More Taylor. The man's going to give me a heart attack. I need oxygen. I can't keep saying he's regained and lost it. Into Vangelis there. Vangelis does get a shot away, but it is a very, very soft one, and it doesn't really work the goalkeeper all of that much. He just bends down and picks it up off of the floor. Callum McDonald already looking like he needs to come off, and it's only just half time. Not fantastic. We're going to leave him on a little bit longer because he's had a little bit of rest in the dressing room there. We had a chat with him at half time. He said he's all right for at least another 10 minutes in this tie, so we're going to hold off. Wiggett here has managed to get hold of the ball on the edge of the area. Matt J has got his second of the game, his third of the season, and it's been disallowed. Today's episode is called I Don't Like Swindon and is sponsored by VAR. Just not very nice, is it? What's the point of us scoring goals if you're going to disallow all of them? I'm not a massive fan. How's McDonald looking? McDonald's still looking all right. He said at least 10 minutes when we spoke to him at half time. He still looks okay. Vangelis has just got his head to that one. I didn't think he was going to, so I wasn't really even commentating on it because he doesn't exactly have the best jumping reach in the end. But there, he looked like a man possessed. He was basically Peter Crouch at that point. Big ball in there from O'Keefe. Vangelis rising above everyone. I see he's like Peter Crouch. No one else actually jumped to try and defend that ball. Vangelis gets a very, very easy header into the back of the net. Right. 63 minutes gone then. McDonald now is waving and saying, boss, I probably need to come off. I'm a little bit tired. Do you think you could take me off? So Wallace going to come on for him. Everyone else at the moment looks fit enough to continue the match. So we'll just leave things as they are. 2 goals to the good going into the 70th minute. Colchester, unfortunately, are winning their tie now and are back to being top of the league. Sean Robinson, with his first goal of the season, has just added another. I do need to ask, did the team take umbrage to me saying we don't score off of set pieces because we scored off a penalty and now off of a free kick, which apparently Robertson scored? But I feel like Wiggett had more to do with that than Robertson, really. Into the header Wiggett there. Robertson does get a foot to it. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it was Robertson and not Wiggett. I apologise, my friend. You have got your first goal. Matt J here, playing a very short ball. Attempts to play a very, very short ball off of that free kick. It doesn't come off. It was a little bit too fancy for this sort of level, mate. I don't think anyone else was on the same wavelength as you. And next time, you should probably just, you know, cross it into the box. I know we've got a highlight coming up here of Woking's corner, but equally, I'm hoping we can get some players off before then. Charlie Wiggett needs to come off. Fagan Walcott can come on for him. Again, everyone else looking all right. Vangelis probably comes off. Ben Knight can go there. Oh, we're going to have to make some changes here. All right, so Ben Knight goes there. Winger over on this side on attack. That means not Burt goes up there. What have I tried to do here? Jay's playing as the Mazzala. That's what I've done. Right, no need for that then. I thought Matt J was out on the left. I know I set this team up, and then I completely forgot how I set them up. So Knight's going to go up front. Vangelis can come off. We're going to make one more substitution here as well, which is probably going to be Kanate coming on, to be honest, and Liam Burt making way for him. And now we are not going to get the Woking corner after all of that. I'm assuming it was a pretty poor one. Colchester 2-0 now against Port Vale. We're going to make our final substitution. Matt J can come off. Callum Jones can come on there. It doesn't really matter who. There's only a few minutes left in this tie, and I don't think we're getting another highlight. We are not. 3-0 though for us. Second in the league with a game in hand. I think it's an acceptable place to be at the end of an episode. 1 point behind Colchester, 1 game in hand. We could go top of the league at some point. I legitimately at this point don't know when that game in hand is. O'Keefe, yeah, good performance. He's leaving. Let's have a look at this a second. O'Keefe is one of 2 players that are leaving in January. Connor Thomas is the other one. He's come on. That was definitely his last minutes for the club, unless we get some bizarre injury or something in the next few matches. I don't think O'Keefe plays for us again, but he had a nice match to send him off, so we're very, very happy for him. I think we now play through the rest of these matches. We probably come back for the Reading and I guess a Leyton Orient match in January, maybe with some transfers. Maybe it's just Reading and transfers. It depends how much business we do in January. I'd imagine not a huge amount. As always, guys, if you haven't enjoyed today's episode, though, please do drop a like down below. Hit the subscribe button as well while you're down there if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow where we're going to be facing Reading. Hopefully winning against Reading, but definitely making a little bit of money in the FA Cup. See you there.